Thanks, Harsh, and thanks, Dr. Anurag. Recently, I saw this crazy yet amazing film called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. That film was, to me, seemed like a philosophical inquiry where the affirmation comes that in this vast and seemingly chaotic cosmos, it's the small human moments that matter the most. And this apparent chaos can be unlocked with the power of creativity, with the power of love, and a solid willingness to fix the multiple realities that we see around us with a strong sense of embracement, to embrace this absurd beauty of life. Also, during the research of our report, we uncovered a very interesting insight. We found that multiple realities coexist in this present moment. While we have technological advancements happening at Mach speed, we also have the resilience and persistence of human ingenuity punching way above its weight class. And that we combine with the entire chaos of this atmosphere that's happening, we can call it a kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope where there is no one way to look at it. No matter which side you look at it from, no matter which angle you perceive it from, it always makes sense and it's always beautiful. There are multiple perspectives that are happening all around, and there is no master key to unlock it all, but there are multiple locks with their own unique keys. For example, my news feed from the last week was talking all about the developments with OpenAI. It has O1, O2, now the talks of artificial superintelligence with O4. And recently I saw the ripples of R1 by DeepSeek pushing up the levels of efficiency. That's on one end. On the other side, my feed was filled with updates, clips, and photos of the biggest concert that happened last weekend by Coldplay performance. And I'm sure many of us here were lucky enough to be a part of it. So, on one side, while we have the technological advancements, we also have human creativity. And if we have this, we also have that. That's the essence of a kaleidoscope. And with that, let's peep down the barrel of this kaleidoscope, this colorful kaleidoscope, and look at the Indian advertising industry. The advertising industry in India grew at a rate of 6.3% over 2023. And it ended the year 2024 crossing a bit over 1 lakh crore. And in 2025, we expect it to grow at a rate of 6.5% to reach 1.07 lakh crore. Going forward, we expect it to grow at a compounded rate of 19.09% to end the year 2026 with a market size of 1.15 lakh crores. Now, the major contributors of the Indian advertising industry historically have been the FMCG, which now contributes 31% to the Indian advertising market, followed by 15% contributed by e-commerce segment and consumer durable segment contributing 7%. Now in 2024, we witnessed the highest growth in advertising expenditure from the travel and transport sector. The ADEX of that sector grew by 33% over the last year, over 2023. This growth is followed by a 21% jump in ADEX by the e-commerce sector and 20% growth by the automotive sector. In this year, we expect the auto sector to continue its growth rally, especially with the automobile or the two-wheeler segment making a strong comeback and electric vehicles gaining momentum in the market. Now, last year at the same stage, we had reported that digital media had finally surpassed the historically dominant television media. And now, the spends on digital media contribute 49% to the Indian advertising industry. 28% comes from the television media, and print media contributes 17%. By the end of this year, we expect digital media to command a spend share of 55%. And in this same period of time, television media's spend share will come down to 24%. Digital media ended the year 2024 with a market size of around 49,200 crore, having grown at a rate of around 21% over 2023. In 2025, we expect it to grow at a rate of around 20% to reach 59,200 crore. And we expect it to grow at a compound rate of 19.09% to finish the year 2026 with a market size of 69,800 crore. Again, like the overall advertising industry, FMCG makes the highest contribution for digital media as well. It contributes 34%, with e-commerce following at 21%, and 5% contribution from the consumer durable sector. And in the last year, travel and transport sector had the highest growth in digital media. Its digital media expenditure grew by 48%, followed by a 45% jump in the digital media spends of the consumer durable sector, followed by a 42% jump in the government and social organizations. Now, the growth of digital media has been driven by the forces of online video and social media. Social media contributes 29%, while online video contributes 28% to the Indian digital advertising industry. Paid search contributes 23%. We expect online video to have the fastest growth of a compounded rate of around 23% through 2026. And in the same time, social media is expected to grow at a compounded rate of 20%. And advertising on e-retail platforms now account for 22.93% of all digital media spends. Now, today in the real time, we are witnessing a spectrum of transformations happening everywhere. While we have the rise of AI, we have the implementation of decentralized systems, we have the advent of immersive technologies, along with a growing demand for personalized and human-centric solutions. On the other hand, we have the human ingenuity evolving with the shifts in consumer usage and behavior. So while on the surface, these elements of technology and humanity seem to be moving in opposite directions, if we go deeper, we see them coexist in a common reality, something which we call a kaleidoscopic reality. A reality where multiple possibilities and perspectives exist in the same time. And we can unlock its full potential by embracing the fluidity of this present moment and recognizing the patterns that exist around us, be it across digital platforms or any other experience consumers are having. Now, this kaleidoscopic reality exists across three major paradigms: paradigm of creativity, that of media, and that of customer experience. The paradigm of creativity is a flux between intelligence and imagination. We see this flux as a space where true innovation happens, with generative AI amplifying the human creativity. It is a space where humans can focus on the wild, the wonderful, and the impossible, while artificial intelligence executes and handles all the groundwork. Next is the media paradigm, which is a flux between attention and propensity, where the convergence of retail media 2.0 and unified commerce play together to capture attention through creating engaging content, and at the same time, using data and insights to predict and fulfill customer needs effectively. And the last paradigm is of customer experience, which is a flux between journey and a funnel. We see this as a wonderful space where structured pathways meet organic interactions to create unexpected patterns of engagement, where a customer can exist across multiple stages at the same time. We see a customer could be researching for a product, at the same time advocating for another product. A customer could be exploring a new purchase while seeking support for another. We see a customer building communities and connections for a product or a service, at the same time moving through the transaction funnel of yet another product. This happens in the same space and time. And this somehow reminds me of that Tesseract scene from Interstellar, where the protagonist goes into a black hole and goes into the Tesseract to see all possibilities, permutations, combinations exist at the same time. And I don't think we have to build a rocket to move into a black hole to get a glimpse of that. Although I don't know, someday we might. But we can navigate this seemingly chaotic and opposite realities just by identifying the patterns and embracing this absurd beauty called life. In fact, this report that we just launched is a living testament of that reality, where we have a sea of generative AI agents and tools, but this traditionally human-designed report upholds and celebrates the human creativity. And as we progress from today's afternoon to evening, let's further look down this wonderful kaleidoscope to explore and unlock this multiverse. And to close, I would like to leave you all with a quote from one of my favorite movies, The Prestige. Are you watching closely? Are you watching closely?